Great Lakes region of Africa is the home of all humanity. This is where humankind began. We slowly come down the Nile, spending 9/10 of all of humanity's lifetime in Africa. This map shows how we walked up out of the Great Lakes region into the other regions of the world, such as Asia and Europe. Looking at these two families, you can see that the black woman can produce an albino, but the two crackers have to adopt. Here on this particular photo, it shows the Egyptians and the Nubians, and also the Semitic and the European. Here it shows Tutmosis III beating down a white man. They clearly distinguish themselves between white people. Here is two deities, the two earliest deities of Egypt, Ptah and Bes, both being members of the craft. You know craftsmen by the leopard skin and the leopard head. This lets you know that they were members of the sacred craft. Here you see the Nubians coming up out of Nubia, bringing the leopards. This is where they got the knowledge of the sacred leopard skin. This BBC documentary tells us about the great dwarf deities of Egypt, Bes and Ptah. Now this is an image of Osiris, or Sara, that is in the Louvre Museum. Look at this face. It is truly African. What white man would display his penis in such a manner? A black 15 feet penis. Here shows the Venus of Willendorf against the African woman. You can see the buttocks. You can see the similarity in their shapes and sizes. Here shows the Ka statue of Tutankhamun. It shows his left foot forward, meaning this is how he looks when he was alive. Here is also Tutankhamun, shown as black. Black being the color of divinity in Africa, in Egypt. Here also shows the great goddess Ma'at, in which the principles of all the universe was built upon. Here shows Tutmosis I as Amen, as men, a black deity, again showing that all the letters were black. Now, if the Egyptians looked at the Nubians as slaves, why would they have painted their deities the same color as their slave? Here shows the great Suten, King Mentuhotep, and the other being Peter, St. Peter in the Vatican City, showing where they got their knowledge from up out of the Nile. Here's the great Suten, Zoja, and the great high priest Imhotep, black. Here shows Heru as the golden calf which the Hebrews worship coming up out of Egypt. The great queen Heru. Here shows Deviki and Krishna up out of India. Also the black Madonna and child taken from the Nile Valley. This is a black Madonna up out of Spain, copied after Heru and Isis, the queen mother. This shows the Pope bowing down to the black Madonna. Does not seem like this Pope has a problem with the blackness of his Madonna. Also, the white priest standing and worshiping the black Madonna, taken from Isis and Horus. Here is the Pope again praying to the Lady of Chetzukawi, the black Madonna taken from Isis and Horus. And here is when they corrupted it and took the Holy Family and turned them into the demonic cracker family of Mary, Joseph, and Jesus. This is the resurrection of the great god Osiris. And on the left it shows where the crackers copied that concept. On the right is the cracker god Zeus. And on the left is the cracker god Jesus. I dare you to tell me who is who. Now, if the Nubians were slaves, then why would the great goddess, Queen Amos Nefertari, paint herself to be the same color as the Nubians. On the left is the Greco-Romans living in Egypt. On the right, an indigenous Egyptians. Why didn't the Greeks paint themselves the same color as the Egyptians? Here is the great god Osiris. Look at the cracker on the left. Could this be his god? Could this truly be his god? Look at Amenhotep III, the great Suten of Egypt, and look at that cracker on the left. You can clearly see the differences. Look at the left side, the cracker living in Egypt, down in Alexandria, and look at the indigenous black Egyptian. Here again is the great king Tutankhamun, and you see him in his Ka statue, meaning this is what he looks like when he was alive. This is also Tutankhamun. Look at that handsome black man. Look at him in his face, his thick lips, his brown skin. Now look what they raped him into. They took all of the melanin out of his skin, even took the shape out of his head, even took his chin and his nose and his lips, and they destroyed it to make it look like a cracker low-down Arab. They know that they have to manipulate the originals. And here again is a Twa, what they call the pygmy. Look at the red dye that they put on their face, the same as the ancient Egyptians. Again, this is a African from the tribe of Hama out of Ethiopia. Look at the red dye that they put on their face. Now, look at these crackers. See, that cracker can stand right by that Grecian statue. He can stand right by that fake Tutankhamun. Look at the waves that are in their hair. You can look at this ancient statue of an Egyptian and look at the young brother with the waves in their hair. This is another photo of an ancient Egyptian with the waves in the hair. Look at the brothers to the right with the 360s. We've been rocking them for a very long time. Look at Queen T and look at this sister right now living today with the same hairstyle. These crackers never wore these kind of hairstyle. Now, when you look at this photo, this is a photo of the Magi. And this is the cracker that played the head of the Magi in Imhotep. Again, distorting. Here is a photo of a strong African brother who looks just like the old man. There's no difference in the facial characteristics. To the left is a brother of Nubia, and to the right is the first king of Egypt, Narmer, showing his Nubian characteristics from which he came. Here is showing the great queen Aset praying to Amen-Ra to help Osiris. Look at the Muslim where he stole his prayers. Look at the cap of Ptah, and look how the Muslim took the Kufi and modified and stole up out of Egypt. Again, this is the great queen goddess Aset praying to Ra to heal Osiris. Look at the Muslim woman using the same prayer formations. They stole right out of Egypt, and the Muslim hated because he got to give the origin of his prayer formations to the great goddess. Look how they stole from the Tekken, the obelisk, to make the minaret. They know they copied, and you can look at them standing side by side. Look at the great minarets in front of the mosque in Mecca, and look at the two Tekkens standing in front of the Egyptian temple. This is where they stole it. Also another prayer formation that they stole. Look at the god Heru giving thanks to Amen-Ra, the great god of Egypt. Sesostris. Look at the red melanin and the facial dye that he has in his skin, just like we showed earlier with our African sisters and brothers. And lastly but not leastly, the African brothers carved in the stone. This is to all you space cadets that says that the knowledge of Egypt came from outer space. Hotep.